Hi, thanks for joining me for this video. We are just wrapping up winter here. And so I want to look back at what we've covered in winter, because in our businesses, winter is a really cold and dark place. I mean, really cold, really dark, really isolating. And we often feel like it's because we're not good enough to be an entrepreneur or a solopreneur, or we don't have what it takes to be successful. And sometimes that's the case. We need to up-level our skills. We need to offer products that are in our zone of genius, or we need to change our marketing messaging to really actually solve the problem we say we can solve. And sometimes it's our mindset, right? Often it's our mindset. Often it's our automatic negative thoughts. Often it's the baggage that we carry with us from other parts of our life. And our business really amplifies our fears, and it amplifies the things that we feel really bad about ourselves. So let's look at what winter was for us. In this module, we learned what winter looks like for you. How do you respond to winter? How do you become a different entrepreneur in winter when things are really dark and hard? And what does winter look like in my business? What is it in your business that winter amplifies, right? What is it that actually are the things that make you kind of pull back and close down and hide a little bit? What are your hot button issues? And what are some of your deepest limiting beliefs? What inner critics sabotage me when I try new things? What are the ants that show up to stop me when I try to create something? And what have I learned about me and my relationship with money and imposter syndrome, the two biggest blizzards that we have? Look, winter happens, and it will happen again and again and again, right? There's no denying that winter will keep happening. What we want to do is get to a place in which we can control how long it lasts, how frequent it happens, and the intensity of the storms. By understanding some of these things in winter, we're able to deconstruct them and put the ants in their place and put imposter syndrome aside and break down our money mindset issues and get to know who we are as winter participants and say, is that who I really am? Am I really that person? Is my business really in this terrible shape? Or did I just generalize because I'm afraid? I'm afraid of failing. I'm afraid of being successful. I'm afraid of getting too big and losing my friendships. I'm afraid of alienating my family because, they don't believe in me and I want to push them away to show them that I can do this, right? There are so many things that winter does, and it's not all bad. Winter is important. There should not be a world with no winter, right? Because winter bubbles up to the surface issues that we have not been dealing with. It helps us decide, okay, I cannot keep putting this in my backspace anymore. I have to make a decision. It pushes us out of indecision in parts of our business and makes us deal with something that we've been putting off. It helps us define our boundaries. Like, okay, I'm done putting up with that. I'm not putting up with that anymore, right? That's winter. That's a gift of winter saying, you're still going to tolerate it? You're still going to tolerate it? You're still going to tolerate it? And then finally you crack and you're like, not for another second, right? But winter showed us what we were putting up with, either what our critics were feeding us or what we were accepting from our clients, our marketplace, our competitors, whatever. Winter has a purpose, right? Don't think that you can go through life and not have winter. Being in a fake state of summer is not summer, right? You want winter to kind of blow in your business, show you the things that weren't really working, show you the weaknesses in your structures and systems that are leading you to lack of self-care, that are leading you down the path to burnout, so you can fix it, right? Because in our next season in spring cleaning, we really need to clean up all the things that winter has just pointed out for us. So thank you, winter, for showing us what needs our attention, right? And that's the point of winter. It is to blow away all the dying leaves and all the debris and just expose what's really there. So we can get in there and say, I'm going to find a solution for this because I don't want to do this over and over and over. So I'm gonna get a solution. And that's totally amazing. So I hope winter was mind-blowing, really, because it blew my mind. When I think of things in my life that I've struggled through and parts of my business that I'm like, oh, I totally suck at that. No, I don't. No, I don't, right? I'm gonna be honest. Winter is a teacher. And sometimes we don't wanna learn, but winter will still teach. So open yourself up, be ready for spring, and let's see what we can plant together in the next season. I'll see you there.